Hello, everyone. And now I really love the Gears of War franchise. Now I'm not a huge fan of Gears of War. I've played every Gears of War game. I'm not really a huge die-hard fan, but I still really do love this franchise. And today I want to talk about, in my opinion, the best Gears of War game, and that's being Gears 5. I honestly really do believe Gears 5 is the best Gears of War game ever made. Now, I know saying this will cause some people to get angry because I think Gears of War 2 and 3 are considered the best in the series, but I really do believe Gears 5 is that good of a game that it is the best Gears of War game, in my opinion. Now, not only is like the game looks amazing, the story is amazing, the gameplay is amazing. I personally just love Gears 5 so much. But speaking of the graphics, I really do think this game looks so good. In my opinion, it's the best Gears of War game ever. Like every location that you go to is so great, and I love the more open areas in this game. And like in Gears 5, you kind of have more open areas, areas where you can actually like free roam and like really explore. Where like, you drive around on a skiff, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun just exploring, and I feel like previous Gears of War games should have this. Now, I don't think just because a game's open world that means it's a good thing. I don't. Halo Infinite, I love that game. I don't believe it should have been open world. The open world it felt very dead to me, but I still loved Halo Infinite. But I loved Halo Infinite not for the open world, but for like the story and like everything else it did. But I think Gears 5 really works with the like more open exploration areas and exploring with the skiff, and even exploring you get to find upgrades for you have this new robot ally. His name is Jack, and you find upgrades for him, and he's able to blind enemies, scan enemies. He's able to like cloak you, make you invisible, and like he can even put a like shield over you, like that kind of makes you invincible. Like Jack's really like such a cool character, and like finding the upgrades is actually really fun. It's really fun looking for the upgrades, looking like trying to make his abilities better because they are very helpful. Also, the gameplay is extremely fun. The gameplay is so much fun. In my opinion, this is the most fun I've ever had playing a Gears of War game. Like the gameplay, it flows so smoothly. The gunplay is, in my opinion, this game has the best gunplay out of any third-person shooter. Just running, getting behind cover, shooting with a gun. All of it's really amazing. And chainsawing an enemy in half is awesome. Like that's always been awesome. Chainsawing, like getting up close and chainsawing the enemy. Now, in Gears 5, you fight the Swarm, and I think they are really great enemies. I think they are fantastic enemies. And like you have the basic Swarm, you have like some Swarm with shotguns, you have juvies, you even get to fight a Warden in this game, and I love it. I love it so much. But, and like there's even some like boss fights. Like there's a boss fight against like you fight a Kraken, and there's also you fight against a matriarch. Like one of the bosses is the matriarch, and he's probably my favorite boss fight in this game. I really do love that fight, but he can kill you in 2 hits, so it's kind of bullshit. I also really love kind of. I feel like this game was more like character driven, like with the story in this game compared to like especially Gears 4. Like it kind of focuses more on Kate and her past, where she's from. You find out she's connected to the Locust from the first 3 Gears of War games, and like you kind of have kind of more like character development. Like I really love JD in this game. I really do, and I like that he kind of has his own arc in this game rather than in Gears 4. Gears 4 I found it boring, but I found Gears 4 to be kind of boring anyway. Like I didn't I think Gears 4 is the weakest in like the entire Gears of War franchise. But I love that like JD goes through his own arc, Kate goes through her arc, Dell goes through somewhat of an arc. Dell's kind of very much the same. Marcus is back in this game. and he's Marcus is Marcus is always awesome. He is always awesome, and frankly, in my opinion, Marcus looks the best in this game. I love it so much. There's also a new character in this game that's introduced in this game. His name is Foz, and at first, when I first played this game, I hated him. I hated his guts, but as I played through the game, he actually became one of my favorite characters. I actually really do love his character. And like it, like he's a jerk, but he's a jerk that you end up really loving, like throughout the course of the game. I honestly personally feel like Gears 5 is the best Gears of War game. Like, frankly, simply just because of like what the main original like campaign that came out. I know there's a like they released a second campaign and there's horde mode multiplayer. I haven't played those, but like I've played and like I have played and I'm playing through like the original campaign of Gears 5, and I love it so much. I love it so much. And in my opinion, Gears 5 has surpassed all the other Gears of War games. And to me, that's not a bad thing. Because Gears 5 is a fantastic game. All of them are great. Every Gears of War game is great. Even Gears of War 4, even though I was kind of talking bad about it earlier. Like, there's some things I like about Gears 4, but I do think it's the weakest in the franchise. But Gears 5 is the best, like, Gears of War game. And I honestly do think that I don't know what they're gonna do with Gears 6 whenever it comes out, but I think Gears of War 5 is really the gold standard with Gears of War games because this is seriously the most fun I've ever had playing a Gears game.